What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with Gab and Maui. Hello, guys.
We're back.
Hello.
Di pa kami
Yes.
tapos.
Di pa tapos. And never matatapos.
Never matatapos.
Agree na ako today para sa Lasal. Last time natin daw. Agree na
Nako,
kami.
baka
Congrats,
palabas na naman
Salle.
yung ano mo yan. UP grad
yung
picture
diploma ko.
mo. Sanglay
Grad pic ko,
picture.
Sablay pic ko.
Sablay picture.
Sablay pic. Okay. We're back, guys. We're back today and hindi pa kami tapos. Kaka-champion lang ng Lasal. We're doing another episode and we're doing a special episode today, di ba, Gab and Maui? We normally, you've seen it in the description probably, we normally do Ballers and Boleros of the week. We've also done Ballers and Boleros of the day, but we're going to do Ballers and Boleros of the season, of the whole season 86. And this is going to be a two-part episode. So for today, for the first part, start muna tayo positive. So let's do Ballers of season 86. Let's get started. Gab, sino ang baller? First, let's do 2 rounds siguro, no? So,
Yeah.
one
2 rounds is
round
enough.
iko tayong tatlo and then another round ulit. Yeah. Sige. So, Gab, start us off. Baller of the season for you. First one.
My first baller of the season, I thought long and hard about this, whether I was going to give them a bolero or a baller. But I am going to give them a baller of the season, and that's the Filipinas Live app. Now, remember last season, boys?
I had
Flashback
them.
to last season.
I had them on my list. Sorry. Go ahead.
You flash back to last season sa amin, Maui, diba? We were talking na we hate signal play. We hated signal play. It's just an app that allows you to watch free TV on an app, and you have to pay for it. And you still get ads. And you can't watch the replays of the games. They don't cover every sport, just mainly basketball and volleyball, just channels that you watch on your phone. And we were complaining, what is this? We have to get something better. I mean, we're paying for a subscription and the app sucks, the service sucks. But they made it better. Albeit a bit more expensive than Signal Play, double the price actually. But it's a better app. It's a better service, better subscription.
It's a better value. It's a better value.
Yeah, better value. You're able to watch games live without ads, without commercials, like a normal channel. And you get to watch replays, usually only around 24 hours after the actual. Yep.
Yan ang crucial.
Yeah, especially, diba? Not
Hello?
a.m. game, the 11 a.m. game, the 1 p.m. game. No one's gonna watch that. So most likely you're gonna watch the replay. So for me, yun ang key. So one, you have replays. 2, you have no ads. 3rd, they're also covering the women's basketball and juniors basketball
and juniors
and juniors volleyball. They have,
but yung volleyball, ah?
Yeah. So, in fairness to Filipinas Live, it's actually a great value for your money service. And for 150 pesos a month, I don't think lang yan something, diba?
Nawawala si Gab.
Ay, sorry.
Masyadong passionate si Gab about the Pinoy Liga app.
The Filipinas Live app, Maui. The
Filipinas Live, sorry.
Hindi kinakaya ng internet ni Gab kasi sobrang passionate niya.
Yeah.
But I agree, Gab. I agree. I actually had them on my list also. And na-mention mo na lahat. This is I think na nakikinig yung signal sa atin or TV5 or One Sports or whoever's handling it. Kasi tama ka, diba? We were complaining about it last season and we gave our ideas, diba? And the Filipinas Live app is a much better app or experience for everyone, I think. And just the fact na the one thing that we were talking about last season was, bakit walang juniors? Bakit walang juniors basketball? Sana isama nyo. I'm just so happy that they have it now there then. And they include like other sports, no? Like volleyball and stuff. So, big improvement for me.
Yeah.
Ngayon lang ako nakakapanood ng women's and juniors like on demand din. Go ahead, Ma.
Tsaka maganda yung timing, di ba? I mean, the women's basketball has been crazy as the men's basketball, I would say, this season. With UST getting that title from NU, it's a welcome sight. Anytime you get yung accessibility, we welcome it. Actually, I was very happy sa FIBA World pa lang when it was available already on the Filipinas Live app. And I think it's warranted, di ba? It's warranted. It's the reason why they also broadcast it. Yung courtside reporters, correspondents nila always say, subscribe to, use the Filipinas Live app. So I think it's warranted that they finally have a decent app that works to telecast different sports happenings. So next step sana YouTube naman, di ba? Or Facebook, parang
or Facebook.
Parang GMA.
I do want to give a caveat though, guys. I put them as a baller, but
meron.
yeah, I put them as a baller, but I want to say na this is still not the way to go. Yung sabi nga ni Maui, I really think you should have a free service for the UAAP. Diba? While some of our subscribers have commented na yeah, it's on free TV, it's on One Sports, you can actually watch it for free. But not everyone has access to TV nowadays. Diba? Not everyone. Cable TV is, I think, going down in market share. I mean, people want to stream on their phones. People always have their phones. Well, that's the way to go. Plus, they're also a mini baller for me because despite having a good price, they did increase their price right before the season started.
Oo nga eh.
Diba?
Mini
Bolero, you mean?
Try lang yung FIBA.
Yeah. 99 ba?
Diba? For those that subscribe to FIBA, I don't think they raised the prices, diba? Sa
diba?
mga bago.
It was 99 pesos right before the start of the UAAP season. And then they increased it to 149 just before the start of the UAAP season. So they weren't shy of saying na we're gonna capitalize on this and we're gonna get us more money. Also, yung
50% increase eh, no? Go ahead.
50% increase. Tapos yun nga, nung game 1 of the finals, and Maui and I, you covered this, the UAAP put out a YouTube video event that were the countdown to the actual game, saying that they were gonna show the game 1 of the UAAP final.
Nag-tease na, nag-tease ang potential natin. Baka next season, gulatin tayo. Nang totoo na.
Yep, but right before tip-off, they canceled the event. They canceled the video. Just, kapal na mukha talaga ng UAAP eh. So, yun, I mean, diba? I have a lot of friends and acquaintances who really say na, who ask me that, how do I watch the UAAP? And I always tell them, sa Filipinas Live or Signal Play. May bayad? Yeah. Ba't ganun? Yung ba't may bayad? Ang hirap naman. I mean, I only want to watch this game. I don't want to subscribe for a month. So it's not a way to get casual fans in it, or people who are not fans of the UAAP, diba? Not a way.
Lalo na students, diba? I mean, students have to pay an extra just to watch online. Diba?
That's true. I just want to add then, no, Gab, kasi we did have a couple of listeners who commented watching from abroad na they watch via the illegal stream because for some reason they couldn't watch via the Filipinas Live app.
Iba yung subscription
be available. Ayun. So iba, Mau.
Iba yung subscription.
So I know it's supposed to be available to them.
Yeah, I was talking to our batchmate, si Leo. His parents is abroad. And apparently the subscription is different. You can't use your subscription here. It's not like Netflix or the other streaming sites wherein if you are subscribed here, then you can still use it abroad. There's a different process. Siyempre.
Okay. So yun. So even diba, even Carl Tamayo, who was watching, who like posted about him watching the game, nakita natin na sa Facebook
May
stream
Gcash.
siya nanonood, diba? May Gcash dun sa pinapanood niya. So, kahit si Carl Tamayo hindi makanood sa Filipinas live eh. So, come on, let's put it on. Good step, good first step to your point, Gab, but let's move on to the next step. Let's take it a step further. Free streaming on Facebook or YouTube, diba? But overall, I agree with you, Gab. Definitely baller of the season sa akin, Filipinas Live. Okay, let's move on. Maui, I want to hear your first baller of the season. Who are you going with naman?
Yung first baller of the season ko, I already mentioned this last episode. Everyone, Kevin Kiambao is getting a ton of credit, but I think it has to be Coach Topex. From the get-go, di ba? From the get-go, when we were, Coach Topex has a YouTube page. If you guys don't know, you can also subscribe to Coach Topex. He chronicled yung training ng Lasal from the get-go ng off-season. And there were already hate comments on when they were losing games. So I think Coach Topex definitely deserves the baller of the season. Starting out the season at 4-3, losing to Ateneo, NU, and UP in the first round, people were questioning, is Lasal really a title contender? And they really answered the call nung second round. They ended the elimination round with 8 straight wins, with going to the finals convincingly. And I think for me talaga, yung most impressive is yung bouncing back from the 30-point deficit nung game 1. As I've mentioned during previous episode, not a lot of teams, not a lot of coaches can dig their team out of that big of a hole, di ba? That performance in game 2, that bounce back game, you can really see yung culture. We were talking about culture, about Lasal building a culture, a good culture within its players. And actually, a good article came out. I'm not sure if it's tiebreakers or spin. Si Coach Topex kasi is taking up, also going to college in Lasal. And apparently, in some of the classes, yung classmates niya also, I think si Abadam and si Goliena naging classmate niya. And he also stays in the dorm with the team. So I think yung family, building up that culture of a family and building up that culture as one really paid dividends during the finals, especially after that game 1 demolition by UP. Definitely, si Coach Lasal was able to get a gem with Coach Topex. I think all 3 of us were very high on him when they hired him. You can watch actually yung episode na yun during the off season last year, and we were all very high on the hiring of Coach Topex because of the track record niya in college. And not even just the track record of him getting to the finals, kasi some people would discredit that Coach Topex never won in the finals. I think yung pinaka-important for me is yung relationship niya with those star players, sila Calvin Abueva. And it showed this season, di ba? Yung relationship niya with Kevin Kiambao has really been instrumental in leading Lasal to their first title in 2,555 days, di ba? So Lasal is back in the driver's seat. Lasal is back to its glory. And I think that definitely bulk of the credit, if not for Coach Topex, it's not for Kevin Kiambao, should go to Coach Topex and si Evanelli. I have to say lang si Evanelli. But really, my main baller of the season has to be Coach Topex because of what he has accomplished this season. I think lahat ng doubts were answered this season. What he has done for Lasal is probably, as an Atenean, is scary. Maybe Lasal can be the next big dynasty team. We'll see. The trend of the UAAP has been crazy. The past 3 seasons, 3 different champions. I think it's good for the fan base. It's good for the league. Yung competition, yung parity ng teams are finally getting back to the early 2000s. Sam?
Yeah, just to add dun sa Coach Topex pick mo, no, number 1, yung bouncing back from the 30-point loss nung game 1, he mentioned na unlikely person that helped him was si Coach Tab Baldwin, who is a good friend of Coach Topex, diba? They respect each other a lot. So Coach Tab helped help him pick himself
Nagpabaon
up,
pa.
diba? So that was a good story. That was a good story to hear. Second, I think si Pong Ducanes, who we always mention in every episode. Pong Ducanes, come to the show, by the way. Come to the show, Pong Ducanes. Because we always mention you. But I think it was him who mentioned that yung nag-champion na coach the past like 6 seasons. I forget the tweet, but yung laging nag-champion na coach, Kalbo. Si Coach Topex na yung pinakamay buhok sa kanilang lahat. Kasi it's always been Tab, Goldwyn, and Coach Topex. So, congrats sa mga kalbong coaches out there. Gab, pwede ka mag-coach, pwede ka mag-champion doon.
I wish.
So, funny tweet from Pong Docanes. Anything you wanna add, Gab, before we move on?
Yeah, no, ako, yung Maui said everything, but ako yung something to add to me is the adjustments he made, no. I kind of think them. I think we all did, especially in that first round loss to UP, na bakit hindi nag-adjust si Coach Topex? Diba? They played zone and he didn't adjust in that 3-point third quarter that they had in the first round. His rotations were suspect. You know, why are you playing Joaquin Manuel so many big minutes? That was a question we all had. I think even Lasallians had. They hated Joaquin. They still do. But the fact that he adjusted his rotation, he played less of Bright Nwangko, more of Raven Cortez. He played more Jonel Policarpo in the second round, less Joaquin Manuel, played more of JC Macalalag, Escandor, and Austria. Really leaned on VJ David to be their backup
VJ
point guard.
David, yeah.
Showed wonders in the finals. So, and of course, in the finals, made really good adjustments. Diba? We talked about this a lot in our finals coverage na he basically made their forwards and their big men the playmakers. Just took the guards out of the game. Took the guards and alam ni Coach Topex na yung guards yung strength ng UP eh. So we basically sinabi niya, we're gonna trap and force the guards to give up the ball and make their bigs playmakers. We're gonna live with Malik Diouf scoring inside as much as he can, but as long as we don't get the guards involved. And the game plan worked. And also, his coaching staff also, I think, has to get a lot of shout out. He has a ton of, he said himself, but he didn't hire assistant coaches. He hired multiple head coaches.
Yeah.
And
Sila Coach Kaloy.
Diba?
Kaloy Garcia.
Yeah, Coach Kaloy Garcia. And shout out to one of our subscribers who said na si Kaloy Garcia was the one who draws up the plays on offense. I saw that myself when I watched the NU LaSalle Final Four. It was Coach Kaloy who was actually drawing up the offensive sets for LaSalle. And they kind of talk about it first yung in a timeout. So what set are we gonna run? And then he points to Coach Kaloy. Okay, you draw up the play. And that shows trust no among the coaching staff, among Coach Topex and his other head coaches. So great job by LaSalle. Again, we were all high on this hire by LaSalle that they got Coach Topex and that they got also the coaching staff that he wanted. So kudos, pare. Champion sila. First year on the job, champion. So Coach Topex.
Yeah, so jumping off of that, I was expecting I would swerve dito sa Ballers picks natin, but actually I'm surprised. Maui picked Coach Topex, but nobody has picked LaSalle. So I'm going with LaSalle. The entire LaSalle community, the entire LaSalle team, they all have to be like ballers for me. Number one, it's their first championship since Alden Ayo and Ben Embala's time. So it's been a long time coming. Alam ko may mga LaSalle friends ako na has been hungry for a championship. We always talk about it. LaSalle expects a championship every season. And
championship
finally,
or bust.
Nakabawi na sila.
Diba?
Championship or bust. So they've been busts ever since. Diba? So I think for the LaSalle community, this is a really great win for them. As you mentioned, Maui, they got the coach. We always talk about it, Gab. It's about building the culture. Ateneo has a very good coach and a very solid culture with Coach Tab. UP established their new culture with Coach Gold. LaSalle finally has gotten their coach of the future with Coach Topex and building that culture and starting it with the championship. How else can you build a championship culture, diba? Start with the championship, just like Coach Gold. So I think the entire LaSalle community has to be a baller. And we've talked about, I could go through each and every player and explain why every one of them is a baller for me. So the entire LaSalle team has to be a baller, including Coach
Really?
Topex.
Including Joaquin Manuel?
He set the
Including Joaquin
tone.
Manuel.
He set the tone.
Nakita mo ba yung tweet ni Joaquin Manuel? To all the haters out there, champion siya at
In fairness naman to Waki.
I'm a champion.
Tsaka,
Call him a champ, bro. So go Maui.
yeah, tsaka Sam, just to add lang about your take on the LaSalle community. It's not just the team. It's not just the basketball team. I think it's also the fans of LaSalle. They have to be given credit to.
Exactly.
Yeah, the fans. Grabe yung fans. I mean, even when they were not on their 8-game winning streak, napansin ko na to during the first round against Ateneo, the LaSalle community really showed out this season. And I think it's really warranted that they were rewarded by a championship this season. Iba yung LaSalle community that we saw this season despite the struggles also nung start. So yeah, credit to the LaSalle community. Not every school can go head-to-head with UP in terms of yung fan base. And I think they really did a good job nung Game 3. I was surprised that they were not outnumbered, and yung cheering ng LaSalle was similar to like the early 2000s, to be honest, nung time nila Coach Renret Walo. This LaSalle community is now very scary in my opinion.
Gutom eh.
That's true.
Yun yung makita mo sa LaSalle eh. Gutom sila eh.
The LaSalle community and the LaSalle team, they're scary. Moving forward, they're the defending champs, so they have to be up there. Gab, let's go to your second round pick.
My second round pick for baller of the season has to be Rayoj Moat. We didn't shout him out in our award section, Maui, yung awards episode natin. We gave it, I think, to KQ and Jake Figueroa, yung most improved. But Rayoj Moat has to be a baller of the season. Again, most entertaining and exciting player to watch outside of the Final Four teams, UE, just because of Rayoj Moat. Grabe. I knew he could shoot and he could score from the last 2 games from season 85. I didn't know that he could make like he did this season. His no-look passes, yung mga tip passes niya from kick-outs, his ball handling, everything, his court vision, so enjoyable to watch. And he almost carried UE to an upset win over Adamson in their final game, diba? And I believe I'm calling him a baller also because I think he got the bag. He might have said na he's gonna stay in UE, pero I think if someone gives him a big contract, someone abroad, he's gonna get a huge paycheck, and I think he just got one this season. There are rumors, Maui, diba? We've talked about this. There are teams abroad who are already courting Rayoj Moat, and he might have said he's gonna stay, but I think if it's gonna be big, I think he's gonna go. Sorry to UA and to Coach Jack, but Rayoj Moat, go get yours.
Yeah.
Pare.
Sabi ni Coach Jack, kailangan pa daw niya ng 1 more season para ma-develop eh.
Of course, but pang ako, you know my thinking sa amin, Maui. Prime basketball years, konti lang eh.
Yes.
Ngayon, yung habang bata ka,
mag-cash
in ka na.
Yeah.
Pwede ka ma-injure kagaya ni Jerome, di ba? You never know.
That was the next thing I was gonna say. Don't do it like Jerome Lastimosa did last season. He already had offers, but he chose to return. Rayoj Moat, if you have offers, if you have that contract, go get it.
Grab the opportunity.
Time to go.
It's not always you get
Cash in now.
Cash in.
I know the old school thinking is you graduate first, you get your degree. But for me, Barry, you can always get your degree later in life. I mean,
Coach
you can
Topex
always
nga,
study
diba?
again. Yeah.
Si Coach Topex is getting his degree in LaSalle now. Imagine that.
Oh, so yun, di ba? You can always study later for me and get a degree later. You don't have to, unlike Jerome's thinking na parang may utang na loob sa Adamson. I'm sorry, pero players know. Wala kayong utang loob sa schools nyo. You have well, meron konti, pero more of may utang na loob rin kayo sa sarili nyo that yung that you put that hard work together to be the basketball player that you are. And I think that you deserve all the rewards it reaps for you. So kung may offer ka na abroad, kailan ka ba magkaka-offer from an international club, 'di ba? That offering that much money to pay you to play basketball.
Life-changing money and opportunity.
Yeah, life-changing money.
Not just
Tama
for
naman,
him,
Maui, diba?
but for his entire family.
True. So for me, I think Ray Mogat played himself into that conversation. I mean, kung si Migs Oxon ng NCAA nakakuha ng kontrata from Korea, I think some clubs are looking at Ray Mogat. I think he's a better player a little bit, or at the same level of a Migs Oxon. So for me, Ray Mogat, baller of the season, man. I loved watching you play.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would have to agree with you, Gab. Definitely si Ray Mogat played himself into a contract. He was one of the most entertaining players of the season and really carried yung UE. Very reminiscent actually kasi ngayon I've been watching a lot of NBA and I see si Tyrese Haliburton and I really remember si Ray Mogat when I'm watching him. Very entertaining both as a scorer and as a facilitator. So yeah, definitely we talked about Kevin Cambao's development for 2 seasons, but what Ray Mogat has developed also in his game, what he has worked on his game is also probably on the same level. Any guards out there looking to improve quickly should look at the like we mentioned yung training staff ni Kevin Cambao. They should look at what Ray Mogat did the past 2 seasons. He was, I think he was cut from FEU and then he tried to walk on another UAAP team, if I'm not mistaken, Adamson. And now, and he was a bench warmer for UE, and then now he's probably one of the most gifted scorers in the UAAP right now in a span of
Mythical
2 seasons.
5 pa.
Yeah, Mythical 5, di ba? I mean, we talked about how KQ has transformed his game the past 2 seasons. Ray Mogat has been as impressive in my opinion. Di ba? Parang 2 seasons ago, nobody wanted to get him from the juniors division. And now he's a Mythical team member. That's crazy. So yeah, I also agree with Gab. If there are offers abroad, grab it. Time to go. Kung si Balungay nga, di ba? Mukhang may offers abroad. And he grabbed it agad. Wow. I think you have to really prioritize yourself because the prime years, si Gab has been very adamant in saying yung prime years talaga ng basketball players is not that long. So you have to capitalize on any opportunity. Sam.
Ray Mogat, just look at another FEU point guard that stayed for a short time and then went abroad agad. RJ Abarientos, diba? RJ Abarientos, he's doing really well. He's doing really well abroad.
He's playing really well.
He's playing really well. Only stayed for like a year or 2 in the seniors division. So, you could do...
Wala pa nga year, Sam eh. Parang isang half a year lang dahil isang season lang, diba?
Oo nga pala. So, go get the bag. While you still can. Okay, let's move on to Maui's second baller of the year. Saan ka pupunta dito, Maui?
I think this can be very controversial. I picked Coach Topex for my baller of the year. But I'm going for UP pa rin as baller of the year. Despite losing to Salle, despite being the title favorites the whole season, I still think that UP deserves to get the baller of the year. They still ended the season as the number 1 seed. They still went to the finals. They still went to a game 3 that could have gone either way. And I think that's enough to warrant a baller of the year. Not all coaches, I mean, si Coach Gold has to deserve credit also. Not all coaches can make a lineup with a lot of blue chip recruits, a lot of star players work. And what Coach Gold has accomplished this season and the past seasons have been very impressive in my opinion. Despite them, kasi people put a pedestal di ba, on teams that make the finals. I think this is also prevalent with LeBron James, di ba? They always say LeBron's been in the finals for 11 seasons and he's only won 4. Coach Gold has been in the finals for 3 straight seasons and he's only won 1. So they're calling UP a bust. But in my opinion, that's still a huge feat. I mean, not a lot of teams go to the finals 3 straight seasons. Not a lot of those teams also go to game 3s. Diba? All of those final series were winnable games. I know there are things that they have to work on. Probably more of yung late game execution nila because they've really lost 2 tight game 3 finals game that could have easily gone their way. But at the end of the day, this is still a UP program that has not won a championship in 36 years and won one with him in the helm and still has been going to the finals consistently. So definitely, I would have to say probably controversial to all fans, maybe pati UP, they would call it a bust. But I would still say that what Coach Gold has accomplished has been amazing. This is a different class of players thing kasi it's not like all of these guys were from his program in NU. Okay? It's really been impressive also for me. So I'm looking forward how UP will bounce back from this for next season. Right now, we don't know which players are going to stay. Shout out to JD Kagulangan, who apparently still has 1 year eligibility because of the loophole that UP found. But definitely,
matalino talaga.
I think matalino. It's smart. It's smart what UP has done. And definitely, the consistency. Yun lang, Gab. Especially yung defense. Yung consistency ng UP has been unparalleled also during this past 3 seasons. The Salle peaked this season, but they were not that good last season. So we'll see if La Salle has really built that culture, that championship culture. And I think if walang coach tab, yung barometer should be si Coach Goldwyn with what he has accomplished this past seasons. It's just that we still have Coach Tab. So as we mentioned, we compare everyone, all of the coaches, to Coach Tab because he's the golden standard. Ironically. Sam.
The golden standard si Coach Tab. I agree. And I was gonna say the same thing, no, na UP, they're still intact. Even JD Kagulangan could still stay with UP. So, dalawa lang mawawala sa kanila. And they have a huge stock of new recruits coming in. We've talked about them. Jared Bahay, si Gani Stevens are coming in, and they still have a lot of young guys that haven't played that much na highly touted recruits. So they're still a baller in the sense na
Gagate,
you know, going to be a Gagate.
Gagate.
They're still going to be Grabe ka, Gab. They're still going to be a solid team next season.
Sorry.
Salbahe ka, Gab.
Tawa ako sa Gagate. Hirit ni Maui.
I agree with you. Okay. Are you anything to
actually, add? Mabuti na actually this is the part na hindi natin sinasabi yung mga Ballers and Boleros natin where it comes to something like this. I have to disagree. I'm sorry. Siguro spoiler na for our next episode. It is our Boleros of the season. They can be both. Yes, and I actually had UP listed on my Boleros of the season because I'm on the other side of this fence, guys. I'm sorry. It was championship or bust for UP. Despite some fans.
You picked them as the champions, diba, Gab?
Yes, I did.
No.
They are not
underdogs. I picked them to win the
Salle. You picked them.
Yun nga eh. Despite some of their fans insisting that they are the underdogs, no, they're not. They've been the hands-on favorite. They never were the underdogs. They've been the hands-on favorite since the preseason. All throughout, they were the number 1 seed. They looked unstoppable. And for me, talaga, it was championship or bust. And why I disagree with that because the way they ended their season, ang pangit eh. They won by 30 points in game 1. I thought they were unstoppable. I was like, there's no way LaSalle's gonna win this. Even if they win game 2, UP's gonna come back game 3 and they're just gonna win this. But the way they went out, scoreless in 6 minutes, not playing JD Cagulangan or CJ Cancino, I thought was a pretty bad look on Coach Gold. And I say this all the time. I compare this UP team to the Miami Heat, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh team. When they were first assembled, it was championship or bust, diba? Yeah, they made the finals, but you know, they don't get awards for going to the finals and losing to the Dallas Mavericks. A championship was expected. They put it out there that they expected a championship, and the whole world expected a championship from these three guys, diba? And the fact that they didn't deliver in their first season, that was a bust. And for me, this was a bust for UP. They assembled a team of super talented players. Diba? I told this to you guys. They're 15th, 16th man on the UAAP or NCAA team in the college division. For example, si Cyril Gonzalez, I think very highly of Cyril Gonzalez. I think he can start for other teams, but he's buried on the bench. Terence Fortea. Also, they have super talented players. And the fact that they didn't get it done, for me, it really was championship or bust. Sorry to, I disagree. And sorry to our UP subscribers, no, but I really have to give them, I really don't agree that they're a baller. Yun lang. So medyo spoiler na yun for the next episode. For the next episode, I really didn't have UP listed as a baller. And yun eh. Ang sama talaga nung ending nila eh. Ang sama eh. 6 minutes scoreless, not playing their main guns. And I made this comparison also in the comments in our last video. Guys, ako yung nag-reply sa lahat ng comments yun ng last video. Sorry. And some si Maui and some si Sammy. Pero mostly ako.
Mostly ikaw.
Yung nasipagan ako eh. So, yun nga. Diba, kahit naman maalat buong game like si LeBron, you would still play LeBron James, not Lopez or yung Nieto. If LeBron James was like 0 of 20 from the field, you wouldn't bench him in the final moments of a closeout game, diba? Or a game 3 or a game 7. Diba? You won't do that. And the fact that they sat, yeah, the fact that they sat JD and CJ on the bench in the crucial moments of a game 3 for me was so disappointing talaga. I picked UP to be the champion in this series, but the way they did it, the way they lost was pretty disappointing for me. Anyway, sorry. I disagreed.
Tama naman, they could be a baller or a bolero. It depends on how you see it. Definitely, a lot of you, I know, a lot of UP fans, a lot of my batchmates are disappointed. Like, depressed on Twitter after that loss. Pero a lot of them are also still proud and happy and satisfied naman, seems like. So, it could go either way. Oy, Maui, sabi mo controversial yung pick na yun. Apparently, it is controversial kasi Gab disagreed. But I feel like I have an even more controversial pick for you. My final bolero of the season.
Baller tayo, pare.
Baller.
Sorry. Bigla naging bolero tayo because of the controversial thing.
Naging Gab kasi. Si Gab kasi. Nag-ano about you. My final baller of the season has to be UST. UST Tigresses. The UST Tigresses.
Okay.
Oh, hindi.
Okay.
So, Swerve. I feel like we don't get to talk about women's basketball as much. And to be honest, I also don't get to watch. I don't get to watch enough men's basketball. I don't get to watch all the games. Gab and Maui, you know this. But I feel like it's...
Ang hirap naman kasi yung manood ng mga 10 a.m. games, diba? UAP.
10 a.m. games.
Diba? Especially sa men's basketball naman, ang hirap din yung apatan na araw, diba?
Oo. Tapos manonood ko pang women's din, diba? So, we don't get to watch, but I think it's worth mentioning yung UST Tigresses and the UST community. I want to pick them as a baller because it hasn't been good for UST fans the past few years kasi they've sucked. They've been bottom dwellers as a men's basketball team, diba? And we always talk about this. UST fans are one of the loudest like competitor niya ng UP
Passionate.
fans. Passionate, 'di ba? And UST Tigresses winning the championship and breaking that 7 tama ba Maui 7 year record or 7 season record of the NU Lady Bulldogs is something that is like really they should be proud of, and I think at least for UST basketball fans they have something to cheer about. I think may article about it on Spin PH. I think I think it was a coach or something was mentioning in the past they would lose to NU by like 60 points. It was that bad before, and now they're champions and they're so good. And remember, Gab Maui, I was texting you randomly nanood daw ng women's basketball sa Filipinas Live app because Filipinas Live is really good. You guys should subscribe. I watched the Ateneo versus USD game and I turned it on. Ateneo was up by like 8 points or something. USD went on like a 20-0 run or something like that. And si Ferrer, one of their star players, hit like 5 threes and she hadn't missed. They're so good. Sabi ko, nag-message ako sa inyo yun, ang galing ng USD na to, nakakatakot. And true enough, they beat NU. They're a really good team, and I think women's basketball also is very exciting.
On the rise. On the rise.
Yes, exactly. It's a very exciting competition. It's on the rise, and people should start watching it. But I'm just happy also for the US community kasi kahit na hindi pa competitive yung men's, at least the women's basketball team is very competitive. And mabanggit na lang din natin yung men's basketball team. I think there's nowhere to go but up for UST. This season was still very disappointing.
Double up again?
Double up na. Call na ba natin UST?
4 wins! Yun yung next target nila.
4 wins. Tama ka dyan. They have good recruits. Forty and ano pangalan ni Paranada. Nick, wait lang. Kyle Paranada.
Kyle
are coming in. Kyle Paranada are coming in. So nowhere to go but up for UST. So heads up UST. We hope to see more UST fans cheering for the team next season and watching the show. We know we have a mix of like LaSalle, Ateneo, UP, Adamson, FEU. Hopefully we'll get more UST fans next season. So that's my parang swerve bolero of the season. Okay?
I would say baller.
Ay, baller.
Nalilito ko with the men's.
Nagmumove on na ako sa bolero. Si Gab kasi sumingit ng bolero pick eh. Ito, nalito na ako. So that's it for today's episode. Ballers of the season. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to do part 2, Boleros of the season. Pero meron na tayong sneak preview from Gab. I think we know where he's going. Don't forget, comment down below. Sino yung baller of the season nyo? Subscribe and stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.